All right, so we've cleaned the board. We can now put the board back on. Now it's kind of half raining outside and I'm in this tiny little protected zone, but obviously I would love a studio to do this, probably better, but I realize if I don't do it now, it won't get done and this will be another painted board without content. So that's why I'm doing it real raw and showing you how most of the time it gets painted instead of in a nice private studio with good lighting. Let's get into it. So this is what I'm going to need. I'm going to need my paint pens. So for today, I'm going to go black, and it's a thick black, which is a 15mm nib, which this one hasn't been used, which is good. Sometimes they've been used in here. So we'll show you how to prime that, which will be good to see. And the reason this one's thicker is it helps spread the paint out way quicker and way better than something like a 4mm, which is our standard size, because these are fantastic, but they can take a bit longer to color in. So that's when you'd go for the 15 for thicker sizes. And we have them in the fluoro because I used to spray paint my boards fluoro, because fluoro is quite like a nice color when you're surfing, and it was quite famous in the 70s, 80s, the fluoro boards. But I decided to make fluoro paint pens because you can travel with them and just simply color your board without having a spray paint, and anyone can do it and it gives the same effect. So that was the purpose behind the 15mm fluoros, for those wondering. But yeah, I'm going to use a black, but I'm going to actually use a pink, just a soft primary pink, because this was what I did last time, and if I do that this time, I know what to do. It looks sick, nothing complex. So for people out there that are not artists and scared to paint their boards because they don't know what to do, well, this is what we're going to do. And check it out, we've got these chisel nibs as well available if you want to swap in your nibs. So for example, if you have a white and you want to use a chisel shape, you can just take it out like that and replace it, which is pretty cool. And then this, I don't actually sell this, but this is a cool thing which I'll show you soon, which shows us how to spread the paint out like spray paint. So stay tuned for that one. All right, first things first is I'm literally going to probably use pink first, because the black will outline the pink. So with the pink, it's not primed. So we are gonna prime it on here, and all you have to do is just a couple of big presses. Make sure you shake it, and that's actually come out beautifully. You should be able to see that nice and smooth. You'll be able to. So that's coming out perfect. So this video is not going to teach you how to draw, and you guys don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to show you how I would paint my board really quickly. You could use the pencil in the starter kit to pencil it out, but for me, I know what I'm going to do, so it's just going to be kind of like a random pink for the deck, because if you make it all black, black can get really hot in the sun. So if you do it like that, you can risk your wax kind of melting all the time. Oh, I've already made a mistake, which is good, because I'll show you how to fix if you make a mistake. So right now, that's kind of my vibe. I just like randomness. And that can come in like that. That can come in like that. So I'm going to color in that with pink. But if I colored in like this for ages, it would look really cool. Don't get me wrong. And for a tip for you painters out there is don't ever paint like this. See how it's all sketchy? Don't do it like that. It will not be smooth. it will look uneven, it'll have white dots. When you paint with a paint pen, make sure that you do kind of like, think of it as a block, right? And you're coloring in that block. Nice and smooth and consistent, especially with opaque colors, because you want them to be full and rich. Whereas if you do it without being like that, look at this, if you do it like that and going too aggressive and too hard, you'll see that it's got these little streak signs in them, and you'll have little white dots, and then you'll dry and then you'll go over it and it'll look like uneven. So that's just a little tip. But to do this way quicker, and it also gives out a cool effect, is we are going to get these bad boys. So that's pretty clean. They comes in the kit. And what you do is you get a bit of water and you spray the water over it. And if it's still a bit wet, then you can just simply drag the paint out. Now I put way too much water on, so that's good. These are good to have these mistakes, because if you see water patches like that, it means there's way too much water for the acrylic paint. So a good way is to just simply dab more acrylic paint there. Make sure this is not too watered, so you might want to use the rag or something to just kind of get it off, get that water off and start dry. And so that's a bit better. That should fill it in. See how it's filling it in better. And then for me, because we're going to be circling with the black after, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be reasonably within the lines for my design, but it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm painting over the shadow sign, but I'll show you how to get rid of that line in a second, because that's important. You don't want to have these like little bubbles, because those bubbles basically are little water bottles and they don't dry or set. So then when you go to seal your surfboard, basically what happens is it cracks, they pop the bubbles, and then all your work in that area doesn't become permanent. So this is a good way. I know I said don't do this for coloring in blocks, but this is perfectly okay to do if you want to spread the paint out. So I haven't put any water on this one, so let's see. So if you don't put water on it, see, it's actually a richer pink, which is kind of cool. But the foam brush will help spread it. So right now, I'm just trying to get rid of these water patches, which require more of a dry sponge. So you might have to switch the sides, might have to dry it out, but see how it's coming out quite nice already. So yeah, you can either dab it like this, but I think from memory, you kind of want to just go like that. Just a nice kind of scribble. And then what we're noticing is you don't actually have to get the foam brush too wet, because I actually like it when it does this. I probably sprayed too much water at the start. So for those people still watching this video, you would have seen I way prefer this kind of effect than the water, because you can still see there's still water droplets. I went too aggressive for the video, but that's all right. It's probably good to show you what can happen so you don't make the mistake. So I'm just coming back to it and just trying to get rid of those little dots, because those dots are going to ruin it when it comes to spraying it. And these little patches here, don't worry, because we're going to go over with black outline, so that will get rid of them. The main thing here right now is getting rid of those water bubbles. And if you have the luxury, which I do, is you can grab yourself another one and start fresh with a dry one. and go again, and kind of work out how much water you actually need. So weird, usually you do need a bit of water, but if you get onto it quick, it's not too bad, you know? I'll do a little bit of water for this one. So make sure the pen's got paint flowing first, so you might have to do a couple of primes. So, you know, we've done it there. I'm just going to do one spray this one, just a nice soft spray. That was one little tiny spray just to make sure the paint's got a little bit of water in it to make it smooth for the foam brush. And that's what it did. Perfect. So that's all you need, just the tiniest bit of water. Tiniest bit of water. It's getting a bit softer, so I'll come back here. I'm happy to paint over this because I'm going to show you what happens to remove it, because that'll be a good exercise, because I'm sure you'll make a few mistakes, which happens. So one spray of water will help get the paint, and then come back on your work if you want. It's come outside the lines, but like I said earlier, it doesn't matter because we'll use a black outline for this one. If you're a bit more particular, you'd use the masking tape, and the masking tape will block those areas. So like if I had masking tape there, it'll just paint over the masking tape and then it'll be nice and clean. Or you'd use a pencil, or you just take more time really. I've just kind of, I would say I'm rushing it a little bit, but also enjoying it, like, because I know how it's going to turn out, and also this video hopefully helps a lot of you. But yeah, like I've gone through stages with my kind of painting boards of taking half a day, taking a lot of care and time, but then I don't know, like it depends on my mood. Right now my mood's a little bit, I just want to get it done because I want to surf this board tomorrow. So and I'm sure that's most keen surfers. So therefore that's the kind of look I'm going for. Just a pink base, so my wax is going to cover like that area, so pink can hold up to the Australian sun. And that's pretty much good. I'm happy with that. Pretty simple, nothing crazy. So yeah, I'm going to quickly show you how to do the black. So let's get this bad boy out and we can prime it here. Hoping you can see this. So what we're doing is we're getting right down here. And you'll see it start to come out beautifully. How good does that look? And you just have to press down once you get the flow, spin it out, and then all I'm going to do, oh man, that just goes on so good. Look at that. Wowee. Okay, I'm going to start this side because this is my side. So literally just go bang and kind of just going to outline it really. Kind of where I went. That's all I have to do. Doesn't have to be perfect. We'll probably go over it for now. And then just boom, boom, boom. Come in a little bit. Nothing pretty. Just simple. Simple, simple, simple. Some of you are probably like, oh my God, he's ruining his board. And then some of you are like, this is cool. Because like when I started, you just needed to be shown really this. So I'm not a fan of that, which we'll get rid of in a second. I probably should have come in, but that's all right. We'll just keep going with kind of the way I did it. All right, so that's mainly covered. I need to get rid of these pink lines. which I might while it's still relatively wet. So what you do is kind of just go like that. Just go over it, eh? Just go over it. Try not get it on the black, because then you have to change nibs or put your nib in water to clean it. So what we're going to do is just go, oh, this one I'm going to have to use water, because see how it just wouldn't go? It's kind of dry. You kind of need to use water now. So just a tiny bit, just as if it's like a bit of rain, and that should break it up better. Oh, see how I got black? It's not good. It's all right. And then you kind of just can get that pink to come out with a bit of trial and error. Dun, dun, dun. My roommate's home. So just go like this. You know, you get most of it out. If you're not happy, like I'm happy, because once I varnish this, it'll come out way better. But some of you are probably more particular than me. And if that's the case, then you probably need to spend a bit more time on this, or use another foam brush. But that's how you get rid of those kind of stains. I'm kind of liking this effect. Comment on the video if you're liking it. Why not? Let's get those comments up. Maybe this is not good. Maybe this gets no engagement. And if that's the case, that's totally cool. Totally cool. Like, I just thought on this Sunday evening, I needed to paint it. I was like, why not film it? Why not talk to myself? I will upload this. I've actually got a couple of assistants that do my social media as well. So I might send it to them and let them help me edit it. But I probably will upload this tonight on my laptop and just kind of get a feel if this is what we want to see. So yeah, that's looking pretty sick. Frothing, let that set. No water bubbles is the main thing. It's not fully dry yet, but it's looking pretty well spread out for what I want to get. So then the next part is to, for me, make sure it's primed always. Oh, that black is going on so well. And the reason this black is going on so well is because we cleaned the board beforehand. You clean the board beforehand, your board is just going to go on beautifully. Wowee. That is incredible black. Do yourself a favour. If you only just want to paint your board black, just get one of these. 15mm Surfpaints. Link in the bio, or you can go surfpaints.com. We ship worldwide, not just Australia. So yeah, it's incredible. Like, you're seeing it firsthand how good it is. You don't just need spray paint. You can use a paint pen that literally does the same job but quicker than spray paint. Because if I was using spray paint right now, I would have to go use masking tape, newspaper to cover the areas. Otherwise spray paint will get everywhere. Whereas I don't even have a mask on. Oh, make sure you get all that dirt off. I don't even have a mask on. Sometimes you get things like that, which is just like a bit of water in it. Like, to be fair, the effort and time to clean that up with a rag and to go over it and get the same mix, for me right now is too much. And to be honest, I think it gives a cool little effect. So personally, I'm going to leave that, because like, my surfboard art doesn't need to be perfect. I'm a bit more of a, like, just want the color and difference. But like, for the artists out there that want to fix that, I'll show you, because I want to make this logo probably free. So I'll show you how to get the paint off, which is not too hard. And you can use the Surfpaints kit that I sell, and our most bestseller, which has the stuff to get it off, which is basically the steel wool, really, or the scour pad and a little bit of water. But we will keep continuing on with this. I'm going to run the whole video. I'm not going to edit this one because some people just love to watch start to scratch. And if you don't, you can skip the video, I suppose. But this is part 2, which is painting the border for a clean. So like right now, I've got no masking tape. I'm literally just going as good as I can get on the rails. But you'll see if you watch the full video, is like we'll come back to the rails, because the rails you kind of need to do at the end once everything's dry. Otherwise it can get quite messy, and the reality is we can't really paint the bottom because the top needs to dry first, which is the most time consuming, is waiting for the paint to dry. Hence why just smashing it out sometimes is what you got to do for a surfboard. But if it's a masterpiece and you're painting on canvas or a nice glass painting or whatever, then sometimes it's okay to wait and relax. Now, I don't know whether to get rid of this Paizel sign or not, because Paizel is a good brand and it's good if I need to resell the board. People like to know what board it is, so sometimes having the logo in it is beneficial for reselling purposes, or sometimes you just like the brand. I'm going to prime this pen as well, because if you don't prime it, you need to get the paint flowing to the nib. So a nice little shake and a prime just resaturates the nib. So don't forget to do that. If it feels like the pen's drying out, it's not because the paint's running out, it's because the nib has no paint on it. All right, so I'm just going boom, boom, boom. Get a little bit aggressive, nothing clean. I'm gonna leave the logo on because it kind of looks sick. It worked out quite well. Boom, boom, boom. Pens, you can do whatever you want. And then I'll just go along the line there. Get as much of the rail as you can. Hope this video is good. I haven't done this style. I hope I'm getting the right bits on the angle of my video. If you guys are liking this, please comment, like, subscribe, etc. But mainly comment on this video as well, because literally the same thing with our marketing team, how we do sales and emails and all that, is we literally rely on you guys to tell us. You have so much power, the customers or the people interested, because right now we might think this, or I might think this video is beneficial for someone looking to paint their surfboard and how to clean the board, and literally get shown step by step on how to paint a board with a very simple design in this manner. But some people might have a bit more artistic talent than me and want to do something more, and they just want to see how the pens interact and how to clean the board. Maybe they have never been shown. But I don't know if this is a good video or not. I don't know if it's going to get traction. I don't know if people are going to get value out of it or actually going to sit and watch the video. So the only way we will know is the engagement and the comments, and yeah, if we get a lot of likes on the video. And if we do, I'll show you how to do some more designs on the boards, and I'll actually show a few tips about the pens for all those artists out there that aren't surfers. Our pens can be used on anything. So yeah, now see how this Paizel is kind of covered with pink? I will show you, might even go a little tip there, yeah, why not? I will show you how to get rid of that at the end. Okay, so right now that is just looking sick. I reckon I can come in a little bit. So this is the beauty, is you can kind of come in and just, once the pink's dry, is you can add some stuff. You can color on top of the paint. So right now this side looks a bit heavy and not that good. But that's all right. So what I'll do to make that look good is, maybe kind of come out a bit more, like kind of come out. See how well it goes over the other colors? And then if I come out and then kind of come back in like that, I suppose. Wow, this black is so good. Seriously, don't buy spray paint, just buy one black Surfpaints and it's just as good. Okay, now it's a little bit uneven. This side needs almost like a kind of a, I don't know, I reckon maybe that. Let's see what this looks like. Some people in this video are gonna go, you're ruining it. But like for me, I go through enough boards, and to be honest, like once you surf it, you don't really, it doesn't matter that much. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. I think this side I probably went a bit heavy, but overall that's pretty good. Happy. So we'll let that dry out. Now, if you got the sun, you'd put this in the sun and let the sun dry it. I could get a hairdryer and go over it with the hairdryer, but see, if you touch it and it's still got paint on you, it's too wet, obviously. So we need to wait until you can do the finger test and there's no paint that comes on. Or the best results, if I had to recommend, is 12 hours. It really seeps into the board. But if you're short on time, if you just give it the finger test and the paint's set, well then generally it's good enough to continue your artwork on the bottom, and then hopefully that burns up more time. And then once you finish your work, you should definitely give it overnight at least before you apply the clear coat, and then the clear coat will fix the paint into the board. Because right now this is glass, so like if I did the finger test, right, the pink is pretty much dry, but the black's not. But going back to what I was saying is this paint will never be able to seep into the board because it's glass and there's no pores for the glass to go in. It just sits on top. So then once you apply a varnish, a spray, that traps it in. So then there's like a barrier to protect it, and then the paint sits under there. Whereas if you have porous surfaces like wood and stuff like that, or plaster wood, it will go into it, it'll seep into the little pores of the wood, and then it's permanent because its pores keep it protect it, but you can still apply a varnish to further protect it, if that makes sense. Cool. I'll do another video on how to varnish this board. I'll paint the bottom probably once this is dry. I think I'm going to do the bottom literally just black and then maybe some writing on it, like a quote. So I don't know if I'll film that. I'll just speed that up, but we'll see. And then my third video will just be varnishing, because that's a little bit of a technique on how to do that. All right, yeah, let us know in the comments if you like this. Sick.